What is going on, guys? Today we are back with a video that we've made before, but it was in need of a little bit of an update.
So guys, there's going to be a lot of new updates to this video. A lot of the numbers are changing, but apparently what has stayed the same is I'm wearing the same earrings.
Oh my God.
They're pretty earrings though.
They are very pretty.
But today we are going to be talking to you about how much it costs to move to Florida in 2022.
If you're new here, we make all sorts of videos
About moving to Florida
and all the fun things you can do once you get here.
So if you're new to our channel and you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe down below.
Hit that bell
So you don't miss any of our uploads.
especially when we go live
To answer your questions. Let's get right into the video, Linz.
right now.
Sunshine, blue skies, it's a state of mind that we came to find. I'm talking about palm trees, we're making memories. I don't wanna leave this sunshine state of mind.
So we're going to do this video very similar to the video that we did back in 2020. And that's that we're going to assume that you're going to move from an area about the same distance away from Florida as we did, Wisconsin. So you can take it for what it's worth, but assume these numbers will hold true for you if you're coming from somewhere in the Midwest or even somewhere in the Northeast. If you're coming from the Northeast or Southwest, you might have to add a little bit more. If you're coming from somewhere closer, you can probably subtract for some of the expenses that I'll be giving you in this video.
And we're going to be assuming that you are going to be renting a 3-bedroom house and bringing 2 cars with you.
It's just a lot easier to estimate monthly payments and how much it's going to cost you to get here if you're renting rather than buying. Now, the first moving expense that we're going to talk about is rent, and this can really be all over the board, depending on your taste.
So you could get a luxurious home and obviously you're going to pay more per month. Or you could get an apartment and obviously pay less.
I scoured listings and I found plenty of homes in the Central Florida area, Tampa area, Fort Myers area, Melbourne area, pretty much all over the state. You can find a 3-bedroom home for rent for right around $2,000 per month.
Guys, that's about $500 more than it was in 2020.
And not only is it more per month, but you're also going to be expected to pay $500 more security deposit. And most of these landlords are expecting you to pay the last month's rent up front as well. So your moving expenses just for renting a home are $6,000 right off the bat.
You know what else we've noticed too is that these owners or these companies, they're asking a lot more from their tenants now than they were in 2020 because they can get it.
And there's so many more applicants, guys. We applied for 3 houses and we weren't alone on any of those houses. The next expense that you're going to incur when you move to Florida is getting your stuff here. And this is where we got to go like 3 different ways, guys, because there are so many options out there.
So guys, the first one we're going to get into is the obvious. You can hire movers. And now we're talking the whole kit and caboodle.
Full service.
Full service. They're going to pack you up. They're going to unpack you. They're going to do it all. And from our research, we're finding right now that's costing between $6,000 to $8,000.
And again, that's all going to depend on where you're coming from and obviously who you're hiring. Now, $6,000 is a pretty low price for a full service move. And I've actually seen some people say that they've paid upwards of $15,000 to hire movers to move their stuff. Those people better be taking dang good care of it for that price.
Now, if you go that route, I'm going to be honest, probably going to take one of the stressors off of you, obviously, but it's going to cost you.
For sure. But from our research, you should definitely be able to find someone in that $6,000 to $8,000 range. So when we tally all this up in the end for full service movers, we're just going to go with a nice round $7,000.
So the next route we're going to look into is the route we took, and that was moving our own stuff. We rented a U-Haul, and that costed about $3,000.
Well, for us, Lindsay, it costed about $3,500. But a lot of that is also going to depend on where you're coming from, what time of year it is, and how big of a truck that you're going to get. Keep in mind, there's other companies that rent these trucks as well. Penske, Budget. So make sure you do your research. And the funny thing is, when we moved back to Wisconsin from Florida last year, the price was about half of what it was to move back to Wisconsin as it was moving from Wisconsin to Florida. They know that there's lots of people moving down here, and there's an abundance of trucks down here that they're trying to get up north. So it's going to be a lot less moving north than it is moving south. So for the purpose of this video, we're just going to go with a nice round $3,000 for moving your own stuff. Now there is another method you can use, and that's going the storage container route. There's multiple companies that do this as well. Pods is the big one. There's also Pack Rat, and U-Haul even has their own storage containers as well. If you end up going that route, it's going to be right in the middle of hauling everything yourself and hiring professional movers. So next, we're going to talk about gas. Not that kind of gas, Lindsay. So remember at the beginning of the video, we had said that we are assuming that you're bringing down 2 cars. Now, if you're hiring professional movers, we're assuming that you're probably driving both of those cars down. If you do that, it's going to cost you about $225 per vehicle just for gas. So when I did these calculations, I think I assumed that you were traveling about 1,300 miles and that your vehicle's getting about 17 miles per gallon. Obviously, many vehicles get much better gas mileage than that. This, again, is where you guys can adjust your numbers accordingly. We're just here so that you don't forget to add gas to your running total. But wait, if you went the U-Haul route, you also got to put gas in that big sucker as well. When we drove ours down from Wisconsin, we had the 26-foot U-Haul and we spent about $500 on gas in that big boy. It was a guzzler.
So Eric, enough about gas. Let's talk hotels.
Oh, your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
What about hotels, babe?
Well,
you're gonna need one.
yes, you are.
Unless you're gonna drive it straight through. We're just assuming you guys are gonna wanna take a little rest because we know we like to rest when we're on the road. Driving's tiring, right?
Right. Especially with 6 children by yourself.
Hey, I was there.
No, you weren't.
Well, either way, Lindsay, how much is a hotel going to cost us? I'd like to know.
Well, about the rough middle of the road, we found to be about $150.
And that's your normal hotel room that you're gonna find on the interstate, you know? Not on the interstate, but next to it.
Yeah. Don't sleep on the interstate.
Don't do that. Now, that's enough about hotels, Lindsay. Let's talk about my favorite, food. Food. You're gonna need to eat when you're on the road, right?
Highly suggested.
How much is it gonna cost you?
You told me $200.
That's right, I did say $200. Now that's figuring that you're going to eat 3 meals a day for 2 days.
Again, that's recommended.
And each meal is going to cost you about $35. I think we can handle that, right? For 4 people probably. If you're a family of 4, $35 for a meal, should be able to do it. Probably not the healthiest stuff, right? But what food on the road is healthy? Now,
you could do our route is what we like to do is we pack coolers. Not only are you eating a little bit healthier so that you're sitting in a car. You don't want to have belly aches, having to be stopping more and all that stuff.
That's the truth.
And it costs less.
Costs way less. And you can do things like sandwiches. You can do things like salad. Guys, we had turkey on Thanksgiving on the road. Granted, it was deli meat turkey sandwiches, but hey, we did it. So you've made it to Florida. You've hired the movers or you've drove yourself. You've gotten yourself all the way down here, eaten your food, stayed in your hotel. Now what? Time to become Florida residents, right? How much is that going to cost us?
So again, guys, we are assuming you are bringing down 2 vehicles. So registering your car plus getting your Florida driver's license, you're looking about $450. You're looking at about $450 per car. So that makes a grand total $900.
Hey, that's some good math, honey.
I know.
Now, next up is the reason why you should subscribe to this channel right now. And that's because we're going to give you a few things that lots of people forget about. And I don't ever see these expenses included in any other moving to Florida videos.
I feel like this is like top secret stuff.
It's for the Florida with 5 family only. So keep this information here. Use it for your own knowledge. Don't share it out. Just kidding. Help others too.
Yeah, share it.
So when you're moving down, you're moving to an empty house, right? You probably did not bring your whole fridge and your entire pantry with you. You got to restock those bad boys. And the price of food has done nothing but go up the last couple of years. So Lindsay, what is it going to cost a family of 4 to restock their pantry and fridge?
You're probably looking right around $500.
Sounds like a good number to me. And you know what? That's probably not even going to get you everything that you need. There's going to be those random trips to the grocery store, but hey, it'll get you a good start. Another expense that takes a lot of people by surprise when they move to Florida is utility deposits. Now, these might not be in effect for everybody, but for a lot of people they are. If you don't have the best credit, or you can't physically prove 2 years of on-time payments at your previous utility provider, you're going to have to pay deposits. Now, when I say proving your 2 years of on-time payments, I'm talking about printed copies of payments from your previous provider. So if you have that and you've made all these on-time payments and your credit's not the best, make sure that you bring those with you to avoid paying these deposits. Typically, these places are looking for a 700 or better credit score to not have a deposit on utilities if you can't prove the 2 years of on-time payments. So keep that in mind. How much do these deposits cost, you may ask? They can range a lot, but typically you're gonna have to pay these deposits for water and for electric, and they probably average around $200 for the both of them. So about $400 total.
So this last one we're gonna talk about is the Forgettables.
I like that name, Did you come up with that?
I did, but in other terms, it's Target runs.
We all know that there's going to be things that you forget when you get down here. You're not gonna have garbage bags. You might not be adding that to your grocery list.
Or if you're anything like Eric and I, you move into a new house, you got a fresh start.
Don't include me in this.
Okay, if you're anything like me, you always like to have like fresh new things. Now I'm talking like the bathrooms, fresh towels, new shower curtains, the bedrooms have new bedspreads.
Yeah, that's a good point because most people aren't going to move their old shower curtain liners and dusty old shower rods and things like that. So those are things that we're including in this Forgettables category because you're not gonna forget them. Now, how much are Forgettables gonna cost us, Lindsay?
We usually estimate about $1,000.
That's what I estimate. What would you tell your lady friends?
That's a secret. I will say it's a little bit more than 1,000, but again, it's your preference. Some people are a little bit more frugal. They like less is more, like totally down with that. And then there's some people that just, I'm in a new house, and if you have the budget and you can make that work and you want to get all like Florida style, you know, we came from up north, you know, we decorated our house like where we are. So we had a lot of up north stuff. So I really didn't want to bring that stuff down here. I had this vision of like a beachy house. So don't forget your Forgettables.
So if you haven't been tallying all this up as we've been going, that's okay, because I've been doing it for you. If you're going to hire full service movers, your grand total for moving is going to be about $16,600. And I feel like I'm on The Price is Right here hollering out these numbers.
Come on down.
You should come on down.
Yeah.
High five.
Yeah.
And if you plan on doing it yourself, you're looking at about $13,100.
So guys, our one piece of advice with this video is always shoot higher. So the numbers we're giving you is just kind of a rough estimate, but you always want to have more. You got to leave room for it. You got a tire blown on the highway. You want to spend a little bit more for your Forgettables.
This is what you should have set aside for moving. We recommend having lots of money in the bank as well for incidentals and just a fluff fund in case things don't go your way. And if you're looking for ways to raise a little funds for your move, guys, make sure you are purging all of your belongings before you come to Florida, because as you might have heard, Florida doesn't have any basements, and I'm sure you got 20 years of junk down in that basement that you're hoarding right now. Get rid of that stuff, get some money for it. You could check out this video over there, or this video right here. Either one of them, guys, they're both about purging your belongings, and they'll both help you get some extra money for that junk that you don't want to bring with you to Florida. As always, guys, we thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.